I would say working back, getting rid of all the proofs and what you have to do and what you don't have to do, that would very easily indicate that there is some problem. So some additional clarity. I think all of us probably came to believe what happened, which is the judge may have just given them the whole packet. Because if you read your instructions in supervised, how could that possibly happen? You're in a polling place, the judges are supposed to do things. So perhaps a review and a modification of your instructions along those lines, because while Mr. Parks and I may disagree, if you take a look at all the legislation that you have, or the litigation that you have, they want to enfranchise voters, not disenfranchise them. And I would say that that would be an administrative breakdown. Again, not an assignation of blame or anything like that, just something to point out. And the only other aspect of the point out that I would say in this process was when we were here for the certification of provisionals and things like that, I do just point out to you that I thought a step may have been missed. As you certify the challenged ones, I think you also have to certify the just plain provisionals that you've determined. Just an opinion, I thought it was something that could tighten things up. As I indicated from this process, I believe in our electoral process. I want to make it better, and I want to be a participant in that. I thank this board. I thank Mr. Parks and my opposing counsel, Shelley Chauncey, and I thank Mr. Allen as well.
Sure, and I know Mr. Allen wants a word, but I want to say 2 or 3 quick things. First of all, Michael Pupio, Springfield Township, we know who you are.
Yes, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Had that issue before. Sometimes folks that are well-known, we don't have their names on the record. So item number 1. Item number 2, I similarly do want to thank you. You obviously are I'm trying to think of exactly the right word, but you are...
Tall, handsome, and thin?
That too. Oh. I was going to say you're a vicious advocate for your client, but people might take that the wrong way. But you really are. You are a tremendous lawyer, and you represent your client very vigorously and excellently. But you do so in a respectful manner, and we very much appreciate that. With regard to your 2 suggestions, first of all, you don't need to. No, I don't. If you take them in mind, that's all. That would be dynamite. The public's watching this and so forth, and I want to make sure that they understand that. We do have a training process for judges of elections, and we are always looking to make that better. The provisional ballot procedures are complicated. There's a number of steps to them, and we are going to make this a point of emphasis and focus in training, because you are correct. We want to enfranchise people. And secondly, we'll look at that issue about the mechanics of the certification. The certification of the votes that count or are counted in the normal course does take place at the actual certification at the end. I think the procedure you were speaking about was when we held a special meeting to go over the contested ones, and we only deal with the contested ones that are before us on that day, and we certify the other ones subsequent to that. But Mr. Allen.
Briefly, I want to pay respect to your remarks and acknowledge them. The provisional ballots that were counted were all checked out afterward, and all were 100% perfect. Of the 3 naked ones, I want to make sure that the public understands and that the candidate knows this as well. One of them, regardless of whether it was naked or in a secrecy envelope or not, was from a voter who was totally not qualified to vote in Eddystone. It was registered to vote outside of Eddystone. That ballot would never have counted. So regardless of whether those 3 votes counted or not, and they could not under the law, and we have to follow the law as far as naked ballots go, it would not have changed the outcome of this election. And I just want to make sure that the public is aware of that fact.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Pupio.
Thank you. And I neglected to congratulate Mr. Yannuzzi. I congratulate him there. I'll congratulate him publicly. I'm sure he'll do a fine job for the borough of Eddystone. Thank you kindly. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Pupio.
Have a nice day.
Is there any other public comment on this matter? Seeing none, the motion made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? We'll call the question. All those in favor of certifying the results of the election for mayor of Eddystone Borough say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. I believe that is all that we have on our agenda, unless there's any new matter, anything I'm not aware of. Is there any public comment on any other matters? Hearing none, seeing none, we shall adjourn. We'll now call to order briefly for a meeting of the voter registration.
Mr. Chairman, do you need a motion to adjourn?
No.
No, okay.
We'll call the voter registration to order. Do you think we need to do the oath again, Mr. Parks? Should we just do it for belt and suspenders?
Probably not a bad idea.
Okay, we'll do the oath again.
If you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that you will discharge the duties of your office with fidelity?
I do. Is there any motions?
I would move again, Mr. Chairman, to ask that you take another term as chair of this committee as well.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
The motion moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Is there any other business?
I don't believe so.
There being none, we'll adjourn.
You need a
John,
motion
before
to-
you go,
You need a motion to adjourn.
Oh. You need a motion to adjourn?
I don't know, do you need a motion to adjourn?
The
I'll move.
practice of this board is not to adjourn upon a motion. I've seen motions to adjourn in other boards. I don't know that.
I don't think you do under Robert's rules, but
But we do have a, sorry, is there anything else?
Oh, Mr. McBlain, do we have the authority to affix your signature to the certificate on your behalf?
Yes.
This is the certification certificate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Take care, Dr.